Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ed from Ed Travels, and today I'm coming to you with a video about tips and tricks and passport options and hacks for you to get your passport in 2023. This information, as far as I was able to research, is pretty up to date, but always check. Always check before you start your application, but hopefully these tips will help you expedite that process so you can go ahead and start traveling. So let's get started. Hi, again, this is Ed from Ed Travels, and here are my 2023 tips and tricks for you to help make your process of getting a passport due to these delays that are going on. So let's hear a little bit about those delays first.
Here's a live look at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. It says the U.S. State Department has a warning for anyone who wants to head out of the country this year. The passport backlog has already ruined trips for spring break, and that could continue this summer.
Fox 5's Tyler Fingert is at Hartsfield-Jackson to explain. It's a story all new at 5.
With spring break now here, some people have chosen to head abroad, but a U.S. passport backlog has ruined some travel plans because this blue book right here is taking longer than promised to be issued for some people.
It was supposed to be a special spring break trip to Jamaica that Nashara Reed Plummer and her daughters wouldn't forget.
I was looking forward to this trip to be like, oh, I can't wait for you guys to taste the food that I ate. I can't wait for you to see where I grew up.
Those plans were ruined when one of the 5 passports didn't arrive in time for Sunday's flight, but she sent 3 of her daughters on the trip anyway.
It really pisses me off because I paid almost $1,100 to have all of these stuff done in time.
Derek Robinson's wife and daughter flew to Mexico Monday, but their trip almost didn't happen. His wife applied in January and paid for expedited service. She should have gotten it in 3 to 5 weeks, but that didn't happen.
Always busy.
Robinson called the passport appointment line for help, but he says he always gets a busy tone. Instead, his wife went to Atlanta's passport agency and pleaded for help.
The cards were in our favor, fortunately, because of my wife's determination. So we're hoping and praying that they have a good time.
The State Department says they're getting 500,000 applications a week. The agency says a routine request will take 10 to 13 weeks, and an expedited one will take 7 to 9.
I think the biggest problem right now is just a lack of understanding of how long the process is taking, because it's taking longer than normal.
People who've experienced problems say something needs to be done.
They have their rules and regulations that we have to abide by, and I just feel like they're not abiding by their rules and regulations. And that's not fair.
The State Department says they expect to issue a record number of these passports this year, and they really are urging everyone to submit their applications early to avoid the headaches. At Hartsfield-Jackson, Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
Well, as you can see there are definitely delays and hassles due to the increase of people requesting their passports. So here are 5 tips that I hope will help you at least make your process a little easier in 2023. Number 1, processing. Remember this. This is extremely important. When you apply for a new passport, your current passport is invalid. That's right. Your current passport is invalid. So until you get your new one, no international travel. So keep that in mind. If you're planning to take a trip, always go to the State Department website. The link will be below in the description, and you can check to see what the requirements are. And the main requirement you need to look for is how much valid time you need to have on your passport when you arrive at that country. So say, for instance, your passport expires in 8 months, and you only need 6 months validity when you land in that country, you're probably safe to go if you have to. But say it only has 4 months left, then you're probably not going to be able to get into that country. So that's something to think about. Passport validity in the process that once you apply, your current passport is invalid. Number 2, When applying for your passport, you must specify that you want it expedited. Just applying doesn't mean that you're going to get it expedited. It's going to cost you more. Me personally, I would add 4 weeks to whatever time they give you. If they say 6 weeks, 10, 8 weeks, 12. Due to everything that I've researched, that is taking that much more time in order for you to get your passport. The summer is the busiest time, which is coming up on us, and it's also the longest processing time. So keep that in mind. Number 3, the passport portal or passport agencies. These are State Department only third-party processing places that have been contracted by the State Department. I believe there are 25 of them around the country. So say, for instance, you're here in Atlanta and you need a passport. The Atlanta office is the passport office, official one is down in New Orleans. But there's a third-party office here in Atlanta. Now, that doesn't mean that you'll be able to get an appointment here in Atlanta. It might be in Texas. It might be in Seattle. It might be in Dallas. It depends on how determined you are to get that passport. But these are third-party agencies that have been contracted. And with anything like that, be careful of scams. Places that are going to mislead you and tell you if you pay X amount, pay a little bit more, we'll be able to get it for you a little quicker. That is not always the case. So please be careful. And I will put a link in the description of the State Department website of their official 25 third-party places that you can go and attempt to get your passport expedited. But it might cause you some money, time, headache, and travel on your part. Number 4, online passport applications. Now, back in March of 2023, the online application process was suspended. But as I checked it this morning, it still says you can apply online. So take that with a grain of salt. You can apply online, but I would say apply by mail. Ask for expedite, add 4 weeks. So theoretically you can apply online, but I would check that also. Number 5, back to the passport agency appointments. You might be able to get an appointment based upon your situation. Some of these agencies can do same day passports, but you have to meet certain criteria. And one of the criteria is the death of an immediate family member abroad, which has to be verified by a death certificate. So if you have a family member, immediate family member that passes away over abroad, you have to prove that that person has indeed passed, and then you have to go through the process of trying to get to one of these centers. Expect long wait times. It's not easy to call and get an appointment. I know people that have called 40, 50, 60, 70 plus times in order to try to get an appointment, and 9 times out of 10, that appointment is not going to be where you are. You're going to have to fly or drive to go there to make that appointment and attempt to get that passport. Okay? And number 6 is be patient. Be patient. People, as you can see, as you heard in the video, people applied as far back as January of this year and still barely got their passports. And a bonus tip, if all else fails, you can try to call your congressman, your congressperson. I'll put that link in the description as well, how to find out who your congressperson is, because they have a back way. Depending on your particular situation, you can contact your congressperson and they can reach out to the State Department, the passport agencies, to try to get you an appointment. Well, here I am just trying to give you some tips in 2023 of getting your passport. Again, this is Ed from Ed Travels. Remember, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Catch flights, not feelings, and travel safely. Thank you.